what's up, everybody? Thank you very much for tuning in for another episode of the Victorious Ones podcast, the place where gaming meets comics, meets sports, meets movies, as well as inspiration. Of course, I am your host, King Von Jr. You can follow me on social media, on Twitter at 301 King Von Jr., on Instagram at Mr. King Von Jr. I'm also a social media producer for the Unpopular Reviews Wrestling Show, Perfect Flex Talk Radio, hosted by Mike Knotts on Mondays at 6 p.m. All right, so finally really got the hang of it, you know what I mean? After almost 140 episodes, just about right. But yeah, anyway, it's definitely a lot, like I said, we're definitely gonna have a very packed in episode. You know what I mean? Like plenty of different news, news and gossip, if you not really gossip, but yeah, like those news and things that I liked, things that I didn't like. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely gonna, like I said, let my voice be heard, as usual. You know what I mean? And so of course, thank you very much for tuning in. For this, like I say, for this great midweek episode, if you will. Definitely like to, bring my podcast. As I like to call it, the halftime portion of the week. You know what I mean? So that's what I prefer. But first and foremost, I want to say rest in peace to Terry Davis, aka Tre D from We Love Wrestling. And the news hit very, very suddenly. I was like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, that was just completely devastating. That just completely shook up the wrestling community, especially, the Black wrestling podcast community, the content community. I know it's been a lot of outpouring of, of just tributes and thoughts and prayers and condolences to him and his family, both in and out of wrestling. I ran, the thing is, the thing about it is that I ran into him at least once. As far as I'm concerned, twice, but especially last year during during WrestleMania weekend in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, the thing is, I've seen him, at least seen him multiple times on Black Wrestling. They're definitely going to, have a big special tribute for him. As far as tomorrow. But hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, like I said, I know they're definitely going to have a big tribute for him tomorrow. I'm pretty sure other content creators are going to share their thoughts and memories and things like that about him and whatnot. And his whole thing was all about just making the community as a whole bigger rather than just himself. Like wanting to see other people succeed. And that's the purpose of of us doing what we do, is not just for ourselves to grow, but to see other people grow as well. Because for those that are want to come up at, because the thing about it is that it's all about, once you've established yourself, you're going to, reach out to somebody else, because, you always have to remember once upon a time you were in those same shoes, right? And so he definitely embodied that. He's been, an example for other people to follow as well. As a matter of fact, he was just at Wally Mania this year, during WrestleMania weekend. You know what I mean? And actually, I want to say I ran into him again as well this year. Oh, yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. As a matter of fact, it was over at the Ringers meet and greet at Chickies and Pete's, right? And it's devastating. Seriously, rest in peace, of course. I don't want to, I'm going to start this show on like a somber note, because, that show is anything but somber. So it's all about celebration, all about remembering. But yeah, so of course, of course, as we continue, as we continue to move forward with the show, and also another thing I really got to get off my chest, recently, especially in the wake of AEW making history with their very first black champion, Swerve. You know, congratulations to you on your accomplishment and whatnot. But at the same time, this has brought out so much divisiveness, if you will. Very few times where I've seen, as far as I know, so I've seen a championship reign, I've seen a new champion, and just bring out so much nastiness, just so much divisiveness, and so of course, this divisiveness was, it was really, it just turned out to an all out attack. So I'm just going to cut straight to the chase. Myself, of course, I just want to say that, here at the Victorious Ones podcast, there is zero tolerance for hate. I know it sounds like a PR statement, but just me personally, I'm just going to say it. Von Resper Jr., I am not a fan of harassment. I'm not a fan of online bullying whatsoever. So therefore, I stand 10 toes down in solidarity with Stephanie Hart. You know what I mean? So as I've said before, with somebody else, as I said before, even back in November, when at least like late, like back in the fall, somebody else was coming after Stephanie. If I said before, I'll say it again. If the thing is, if you have a problem, if you have a problem with Stephanie Hardy, you have a problem with yourself. If you don't like Stephanie Hardy, you don't like yourself. Period. Because she is truly, I've said it to her as well, she is the John Cena of this, black wrestling podcast space, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like she's absolutely genuine. She's cool. She's absolutely a sweetheart of a person. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't bother anybody. She's unproblematic. As a matter of fact, I want to get a chance and reach out, to have her on my show. If the schedule permits. Like that's somebody that's definitely one on my list. My guest interview list or whatever. You know what I mean? And so, like I say, Stephanie, she's genuine about about her fandom. She's always talking about what she likes, what she celebrates. She celebrates more than she hates. You know what I mean? And the thing is, that's I see a lot of familiarities with my podcast as well. I'd rather talk about the upside way more than the downside, right? And so it's just like for people to stoop so low to for somebody to stoop so low and call her out of her name, to call her anything except a child of God, that is ridiculous, that is insane. So I'm giving a statement right now. You know what I mean? So of course I've already addressed on Twitter. I've addressed it on, addressed on in a Facebook group as well, and I'm addressing it right here. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's zero tolerance for that. So so the thing is, if you have a problem with Stephanie Hardy, you got a problem with me. And the thing is, even though I'm not a New York podcaster, I will say that I stand 10 toes down with them. You know what I mean? And so, so I stand in solidarity with them. No matter what. Anyway, as a matter of fact, a lot of people I've become friends with, I've connected with, from this podcast space, are from New York. For example, Java Tears, what's Backstage Brawl. You know what I mean? It was Your Sports. Like so as far as like Tavia, Stan, Shantice, the rest of them. Wilkins, Janelle. So many, so many I can name those wrestling girls. You know what I mean? So it's just like I said, I've definitely connected with that New York circles, so much. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't completely necessarily call them bullies, but somebody else, would think that they're bullies. That's because they're very insecure themselves. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like I said, I wouldn't necessarily call them bullies. You know what I mean? They just have a certain way of communicating. More aggressive way of communicating. But you know what I mean? But the thing about it is, like I said, the thing is, like I said, they're cool people at heart. But the thing is, but of course, if you want to call them bullies, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's all fun and games, until the bully get, I'll say it like this, if you want to call them bullies in that sense, hey, fine, they'll go ahead and accept it, they'll embrace it. You know what I mean? Like, if it means for them to bully a bully, so be it. You know, like you think, I mean, if you want to call them bullies, fine, as long as they are bullying somebody who's a bully themselves. It's funny how people want to, play victim online when they victimize somebody else. I think it was ridiculous for somebody to play victim when they victimize somebody who's as innocent as um, unproblematic as Stephanie. All she did was um, you know share her opinion, and state some truth to it as well. You know what I mean? Let's not lie. You know, all she did was just express her viewpoint, and she gets attacked for it. That's insane. That's ridiculous. So for anybody that comes after her, they deserve all the smoke that they get. Because she has been able to go into rooms that that a certain hater wishes that they could get into. You know what I mean? And so Stephanie, to you, like I said, don't let the haters get at you. Don't let these ops and these weird neckbeard looking dudes get at you. Let all the other stuff be the other stuff. Keep being great, keep growing. You know what I mean? So you definitely have my support. The whole New York, they got your back. Like every borough in New York, whatever, they got your back. Don't worry about it. You're definitely covered. And most importantly, I just want to say, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. That's all that's the main thing I say. So, yeah, you know what I mean? So I just definitely had to get that off my chest before I went any further, before I happened to like lose train of thought or whatever. But, like I said, certain things, like I said, I just had to, I just had, just had to air on the vent. And for those that are watching by way of YouTube, go to youtube.com/Ed Von Resper Jr. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more great content. And so, like I said, those are definitely a lot of things I certainly had to get off my chest. And just, I just can't take it. Like I just had to just air it out, and that's what it is. So before I get into the wrestling, a few other things I want to talk about. I know these are a few wrestling topics I'm gonna kind of dive and kind of like go in and out. You know what I mean? So of course, one of the things I definitely want to talk about, couple of things I want to talk about as well in the world of comics, if you will. Of course, of course, with regards to X-Men '97, one of the things I'm doing is to, of course, my podcast comes on the same day as as a show. Of course, comes on Wednesdays, and right. And so one of the things I want to do, I know, because of the fact I know that the new episodes drop this very day, and to avoid giving spoilers, I would just talk about what happened in the past week. You know what I mean? And just to save any type of spoiling, because look, you want to talk about somebody who knows the thing too about spoilers. Right here, my mistake. Like, nah. So what happened with what happened with the snowfall spoilers and stuff? I'm like, nah, I ain't going back to that. I'm not doing it. I ain't taking that smoke no more. But yeah, like I said, in regards to X-Men '97, I know last week was heavily featured. Last week's episode was heavily featured on Professor Xavier, who is not dead after all. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was heavily featured Professor Xavier as well as Storm. So that episode was mainly about them and how Professor X, had ingratiated himself with Shi'ar Empire to the point where he was on the verge of marrying. I believe her name was, but yeah, you know what I mean. So as far as that, it got to the point where the Shi'ar Empire wanted him to at least still maintain his memories, but wanted him to forget his memories with the X-Men, and he refused. And so and of course, one of the biggest lines of the show was when Warburg called Earth the Milky Way ghetto. The a Warburg called Earth the Milky Way ghetto. I was like, oh, wow, okay. I'm thinking like that might be the title of the episode. That's at least up in, at least in the running, if you will. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, this is like, like to hear that, I was like, man, that's like the X-Men's version of the hard R, just about. I mean, I was like, man. So I mean, but at the same time, like, Earth is, kind of on the ghetto side a little bit, here and there. Well, not a little bit, but it's quite a lot. Yeah, if for her to refer to Earth that way, I was like, man, okay, so it's how you really feel. You know what I mean? And so and the thing is, like, of course, Xavier, at least, had gotten visions of the X Men, and had this visions of what happened in Genosha, and it just terrified him. And then even, like, of course, like that vision of Gambit dying at Genosha. Full disclosure, rest in peace, Gambit. And and that was enough to shake up his core. He was like, I got to get back to my X-Men. I got to get back, to my children of Adam, after seeing them get destroyed like that. And so, and also, last week's episode had appearances by, like I said, by Warburg, Gladiator, as well as Ronan the Accuser, right? And what I mean, so of course, I definitely like see those, special cameos. Like, I thought it was pretty cool. And also to see, let's just say, Storm, got a groove back, if you will, and for her to, to finally tap in to so of her essence, if you will, and for her to overcome those demons of fear that were facing her, and to break out of those closed spaces and things like that, and and also to also to heal Forge, of where that virus was, or whatever, or at least to heal them of being attacked, but by that demon, that virus, whatever it was. And I think it looks scary too. You know what I mean? But like I said, just for Storm, like I say, to be able to get her powers back. And I like how she had the classic costume. That was her very first costume, from when she made her debut back in 1975. So Storm's original outfit was all black, and she didn't get the white, like the all white, classic 90s cartoon look until, obviously, until later. But yeah, what I mean, like, this was Storm's OG costume, and to see her, like I see, back in, back in her standard form, like, back to super, back to, regaining her strength and her powers. I was like, finally, I knew this. I figured this wasn't gonna last long. This wasn't gonna be permanent. And of course, this definitely call back to the comics anyway, right? So, so you know what I mean. So of course, that was a great episode. And this week's episode, was phenomenal as well. And just to, let's just say there was a legendary guest appearance in this week's episode. I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you want more, tune in next week. Then I'll go ahead and dive deeper into it. And so just for them to continue on with just recovering from the aftermath of Genosha. This is a lot of what this is about. And like I said, I'm not gonna go too much into it. Let's just say there's a lot of sentinel involvement, if you will. It's quote unquote. But like I said, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna get carried away with spilling too many beans. I'll wait until like next week, if you will. But yeah, what I mean, like I said, this episode was absolutely outstanding. Really, this series itself, and this week was episode 7, so we have 3 more episodes to go until until the show's finished. But this has been a great ride. I mean, this has been an absolute thrill. And also, another thing I wanted to talk about before I, like I said, before I go any further, um, when it comes to wrestling, another big thing, excuse wrestling, but like I said, another big headline, if you will, that's really been breaking the internet was this trailer, is this trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine, and I like how there's a callback to X-Men First Class when Xavier Magneto try to recruit him at that bar, and he tells him, go after yourself, and when it comes to Deadpool, he does the same thing, and so it feels like there are different versions of Wolverine, like yellow suit Wolverine, maybe sort of like Logan, at least before the events of Logan, if you will, and then there was even a scene where he tried to unleash his claws, but they wouldn't come out, or whatever case was. They just kept coming up short, and so it's just like so many different things, and I feel like they're definitely gonna have sort of like variance in this aspect, and so it's just like so much like so much to really unpack it. It just looking at how gruesome it was, and like I said, this is just off of like trailer number 2 alone. Like, man, they like I said, like I said, Deadpool's the Merc with the Mouth. He's one of the most unfiltered, um, R-rated, if not the most R-rated comic book character of all time. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I was like, man, just to see, Deadpool and Wolverine uh, cross paths in movie form, and for them to have this alliance, and so it's like I said, they're definitely callbacks to first class, callbacks to you could say Wolverine origin, things like that, and so as a matter of fact, um, I think they even went through a portal I think as a matter of fact, they even went through a portal as well. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is definitely some multiverse type of thing going on, whatever. It's like, all right, you know, I'm excited, you know, and I know there's even like even greater in store. Like I said, this is a ride that I'm happy to be a part of. And like I say, especially like it's been a long time coming to see Hugh Jackman in the classic Wolverine costume. After his whole career, he's been wearing jeans or like wearing leather, black leather, whatever the case with anything except for the original X-Men costume. But now that's in the hands of the MCU. Now they know what to do. They know how to execute much better, and I trust that this movie will be great since now, be even greater since it's in the hands of Marvel. And like I said, Wolverine, it's constantly been a fan favorite, a moneymaker himself anyway. So for him and Deadpool to link up like this, it's something special. You know what I mean? And so I look to see how this sets the stage and plants the seeds for Secret Wars. You know, much like what we've seen from Spider-Man: No Way Home, even Doctor Strange 2. And who knows, even with the way things are playing out with um, like X-Men 97, you never know what type of strings the MCU could pull. But yeah, what I mean, like I said, when it came to this, like I finally got to see the trailer for for Deadpool and Wolverine. Like I said, I have very high expectations for this movie, and I am persuaded that it will not let me down. So now it's time to go into the week in wrestling, and SmackDown certainly had, more than its fair share of headlines, if you will. Let's see. Mm-hmm. I'll go into these results real quick. Uh, So yeah, anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, like I said, I just want to be specific about this. And so of course, the thing about it is that even though WrestleMania 40 is in the rearview mirror, but at the same time, things are far from slowing down. And so of course, this SmackDown featured a title match and two number one contenders matches. So this is what this is what we had so far on Friday's show. We had Bayley versus Naomi versus Naomi for the WWE Women's Championship. We had LA Knight versus AJ Styles to be the number one contender for the Universal Championship, and Street Profits versus ALP versus Legado del Fantasma versus New Catch Republic, and number one contenders match for the tag titles. And of course, this era of WWE is pretty much, even before the introduction as a quote unquote new era, it's definitely been very faction heavy. Definitely see a lot of faction wars, play out. So of course, these, they're more, solidified in groups probably than ever, at least in a long time. And so, of course, we have LA Knight versus AJ Styles, the rematch from WrestleMania 40, and the winner of this match instead is going to be, of course, ends up being AJ Styles. And so, so of course, so of course, even though AJ lost at WrestleMania, he was able to get the win with a thumb to the eye, followed by a phenomenal forearm, forearm for the 1-2-3. And so now it's official that Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles are going to battle for the title at Backlash. And then on Friday, we were introduced to new tag team titles, of course, as a result of Triple H's new era, new regime. And of course, what's old is new. And of course, these new, like I said, new tag titles look exactly like the vintage world tag titles with a little bit of a twist. And instead of the WWF/E logo being at the top, we have a crown. And so in the center, we have a globe with the WWE logo. And of course, obviously, it says tag team wrestling champions, whatever. But like I said, it looks like it's the same shape and design as the OG tag team titles. So it got me thinking: are we gonna, reveal a new, a WWE title? Are we going back to the Winged Eagle? Who knows? Only time will tell. And so the number one contenders, like I said, the number one contenders are the Street Profits as they win this match. Then we have Carlito versus Santos Escobar, and winner of this match, Santos Escobar. And then we have, the thing is, then we have the WWE Women's Championship match between Bayley versus Naomi. And so things are going great so far until, actually, I'll say like this, even before the match started, we had damage control in skyboxes next to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And so, So of course, with that, and the thing about it is that Naomi and Bayley are friends, and friends in real life anyway, and and the great working as baby faces. So this is a clean match. They didn't have to resort to any cheating or interference, but but of course, as great as the match was going, before you know it, it's Tippy time, right? It's Tippy time. It's Tiffany Stratton interfered and caused a no contest finish by attacking both Bayley and Naomi, and so of course, because of Tiffany's beatdown, Bianca and Jade are furious. They're pissed. Meanwhile, on the other end, Damage Control is enjoying it, and so I was like, okay, but and the fact that Bianca and Jade won the skybox next to Damage Control lets me know it's only a matter of time before, before they end up going for the tag titles and end up winning, because there's no other way, outside of crushing Damage Control at WrestleMania. But it's just like at this point, you might as well, to take everything from them, including the tag titles, and who better than Jade and Bianca? And one of the things I meant to really sort of sort of emphasize even more, um, is that it's just amazing to see Jade and Bianca in a program together, as tag team partners, sharing the same ring, and the fact that Jade's first official program is with Bianca. As a matter of fact, we even talked about it on Turnbuckle Talk uh, last night, and how it's only fitting that Jade is with veterans like Bianca and Naomi to, just guide her through, you know what I mean? To sort of hold her hand, if you will, because at this point, that's what she needs. She needs all the support that she could get, and what better support system, you know, um, than the both of them, you know what I mean? And so, so the thing is, the thing is, Jade is definitely in a position of little sister right now, you know what I mean? And so, um, I, shoot, yeah, my internet is not acting crazy on anybody right now. But okay. So yeah, what I mean, I don't know what the issue is with my Wi-Fi right now. I hope it's not like, you know, going out on anybody right now. But sorry about that. All right, like I said, hope my internet is not, you know, going out or acting crazy on anybody right now. That happen to be watching. All right, cool. I think it's getting a little bit better. But yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, but anyway, like like I was saying, as far as that, like I said, it was very important. For Jade to have the type of support, and and veteran guidance, and things like that. And you could tell that they absolutely love each other's company. There's definitely like a genuine bond, and mutual respect and admiration for each other. And what I mean, and you could tell this. Sorry about that. You can tell it's definitely not, you know, I mean, my phone. You could definitely tell there's nothing kayfabe or scripted or anything about it. Like I said, that they genuinely, um, like I said, enjoy each other's company, and want to see each other succeed. And I mean, case in point, look at how they were unified during WrestleMania weekend. They all came out. Um, like I said, they all came out dressed as Cowboy Carter, and then then of course at Mania itself they had dressed like they came from the Renaissance concert, right? And he sounds like, okay, this is pretty cool. And for Bianca and Jade to to even have matching outfits, I was like, yeah, they definitely you know look like they could look like sisters. You know what I mean? Like that's definitely sisterhood right there. You know what I mean? And it sounds like I said, and especially I remember those even like a backstage interview that they had from Byron Saxton, and I was like, yeah, like I said, just to see them unify like that, and just to see how happy Jade is. And there was even a video that surfaced on the internet of what I mean, of Jade at her first WWE, like I said, WWE live show. And like I said, and just to see how she was happy, how Jade was able to do what she was never able to do in AEW, and that was have fun. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, Jade, in what, 3 months of in-ring action, has done better than what she's done in 2 to 3 years in AEW. You know what I mean? They're positioned her and featured her to be the star that she's meant to be, right? And also, I also believe that this is going to be great long-term storytelling, because especially as I've said before, and the thing is, since Bianca is the Cena of the women's division, Jade could be her Randy Orton. You know what I mean? And So of course I definitely see that being, like I said, just definitely being in the works. And man, and things I don't want to belabor this, but like I said, in the long run, it's definitely gonna be, like I said, um, like I said, that's pretty much what it is. And also another thing about it, also another thing when it came to this past week's SmackDown, Solo had a suit on, and so he was standing in the ring. All of a sudden, fans start chanting, "We want Roman, we want Roman," and so I'm thinking to myself, oh, so now after 4 years, and he's not the champ no more. Now y'all starting to call for Roman. All right, whatever. You know what I mean? Let y'all have it. But before I go any further, I just got finished listening to, of course, the cheap plug about got finished like I said, as a matter of fact, this past weekend I got finished listening to the Jobbeteers episode about the final boss and how they gave the rundown, play by play of WrestleMania. I must say that has been one of the finer episodes, and for Janelle to finally acknowledge the tribal chief even after he lost the belt. I mean, hey, at least you acknowledge him at some point. But my thing is, why wait until he's not champ no more? But hey, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, like I said, other than that, like I said, back to the Solo thing. Um, you know, like I said, the fact that fans are starting to chant Roman, I mean, I can only imagine what this face turn is going to look like. But it just lets me know that Solo's not really the tribal chief yet. At least, certainly not in the in the hierarchy, because of the fact that the tribal chief, someone who is usually the champion, is someone who make sure that the family's fed, that the family's provided for, and that's what Roman's been doing. What I mean, like, as far like these last 4 years. And so Rock is definitely more like the high chief. And so the thing is, they say that the elders sent Solo, and I believe that the Rock, this is just me. Um, there's a part of me that believes that the Rock himself, by the way, shout out to Mitchell and Ness for this great, Rock strip that I got from WrestleMania. Pretty awesome. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like I said, as far as that, there's a part of me that believes that, that the Rock is that, is that elder, that they're talking about, who sent Solo. It's just that, that Roman doesn't realize it yet. But when it's time for that collision, you will see. You'll definitely see. Starting to see the bloodline look more like, like I say, look like, more like the NWO. Man. So it's definitely definitely a whole nother layer of this storyline. Just adds a whole nother dimension to it. And so now I'm going to go into going to Monday Night Raw and going to my recap of it. And so the thing about it is that the women's title's been vacant for a week after Rhea Ripley had to relinquish it because of an injury. And so of course, as a result, as a result, it had to be a battle royal, for the women's world championship, and that was definitely the main event in and of itself. But before that, like I said, I definitely want to, definitely go into the things, all the different things that build up to this. So of course, the show opens with Jey Uso going face to face with Damian Priest, and so of course they exchange pretty respectful words for the most part, about the upcoming match at Backlash for the World Heavyweight Championship. Before JD McBobblehead tried to sneak attack Jay, and it's clearly against Damian's wishes, but also led to Priest taking a super kick from Jay, intended for McDonough, in the chaos. So McBobblehead. And so of course, the next step with the World Tag Team Championships, where Awesome Truth defeated DIY by pinfall, and with the Truth crushing finale to retain the titles. And and of course, Johnny Gargano shook Mrs. R-Truth's hand, but Ciampa refused to shake their hands before walking away. Of course, Gunther returned to Raw for the first time since losing the Intercontinental Championship to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 40. And so, of course, Gunther thanks Sami Zayn for defeating him and he said that, Sami took the target off his back by taking the belt away from him. And so Gunther was saying now they could, move to higher heights and bigger things. And so as he declared himself for the King of the Ring tournament. So this is his official, like I said, his official declaration to join the King of the Ring tournament. I wouldn't mind seeing like the King Ring General Gunther, if you will. You know what I mean? So as far as that, and of course, following that, we have a match between Imperium and New Day, where the New Day defeats Imperium, by pinfall after Xavier Woods pinned Giovanni Vinci. And so the match came up after New Day interrupted Gunther's promo earlier, with Woods talking about being the reigning king of the ring. And so, of course, Gunther was furious about after Imperium's loss. And so, of course, Luke Kaiser consoled Vinci after the defeat. It was, but of course, it attacked him after he left the ring. But but if anything, I remember Gunther giving Kaiser, this look like, what to do, without him even saying it. He just gave him a stare, like, what to do. And so of course, Kaiser knew what he had to do, and that was take out Vinci. You know what I mean? And of course, the attack, happened after they had to push Kaiser away, and of course Kaiser broke free and then ran all around the ring, and just gave Vinci the meanest drop kick to the head into the ring steps. And so afterwards, Gunther gave Kaiser a smile of approval. Full disclosure, Gunther and Kaiser are buddies anyway in real life. So, so it's just, it only makes sense. Kaiser's really Gunther's hype man. That's that's his right hand man. So he wasn't gonna, he wasn't gonna, push him to the wayside or nothing like that. So if there's one guy to go, it definitely had to be, had to be Vici. Anyway, Sheamus defeats Shinsuke Nakamura by pinfall with a bro kick, and of course Drew McIntyre was watching from ringside, and of course before the match, Sheamus was telling Drew to get over himself and stop blaming himself, blaming everyone else for his problems. And of course, this after Drew was saying that Shane was putting on banger after banger, but since he's been out, it's been burger after burger. I was like, man, with friends like that, do you really need enemies? And so I was like, man, okay, but of course after that, like I said, Sheamus defeated Nakamura by pinfall, and so Nakamura's been taking a number of L's recently. But whenever Bronson Reed attacked Sami Zayn backstage, after Zayn told him that if you want to shot the title, you have to, they can have one anywhere, anytime. And then of course Chad Gable addresses attack on Sami Zayn after last Monday's match. Like I said, we attacked Sami in front of his family. Even German suplex Sami away from his wife. Even gave him an ankle lock on the top, on the top turnbuckle. I was like, man, okay, Chad snapped. I was like, man, and the thing is, really, let's just call it what it is. He just called everybody Alpha Academy a bunch of losers. I was like, man, and of course, and of course, and the thing is, he made them say that they'd have his back and get the Intercontinental title no matter what. And so of course, just out of fear, there was like, no matter what. Then we have Andrade and Ricochet, JD McBobbaway and Santos Escobar via pinfall. And last but not least, the main event was the Battle Royal for the women's, the Battle Royal for the Women's World Championship. And my initial pick, honestly, was Nia Jax, especially since she was not on the WrestleMania card this year. And and of course, she's been very impressive. She looked great. A lot of people have been complimenting her on her looks last week. But I'm like, I've been knew that. Like from the jump. So I mean, people just, like they're just giant come lately, just late realizing that Nia looks great. You know what I mean? That Nia is like super duper fine. I was like, all right, whatever, that's on you. But yeah, you know what I mean. Of course, you knew that Nia was just poised and ready to, to get that title. But I will say that there was, like I said, it was a great women's battle royal. Matter of fact, Nia was, was one of the final three, and so of course, rather one of the final four: Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, and Becky Lynch, and Nia quickly eliminated her former tag partner Shayna Baszler, and then Becky and Liv worked together to eliminate Nia and bring things down to a one-on-one finish. And Liv was, been on a revenge tour lately, um, and of course they brawled on the ring apron until Becky hit Liv with a manhandle slam, and sent Liv sliding to the floor. And of course, Becky became the women's world champion. So you could say Grand Slam Bex, and your winner and the new women's world champion, Becky Lynch. So from the man to big time Bex to Grand Slam Bex, Becky Lynch is your new women's world champion. It's amazing how she becomes the champion after the woman that beat her got injured. And once again, so much for Liv's revenge tour. I feel like this revenge tour has become a bust because it did not result in you winning the championship. So congratulations, Liv, you played yourself. So now, finally, we're going to go into NXT. As a matter of fact, last night's episode of NXT was NXT Spring Breaking. And the headline, the main event was Trick Williams versus Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship. And the stipulation was that if Trick lost, then he would have to leave NXT. And, it seemed as though this would have been, a way to write Trick out and send him to the main roster, even though there's still more for him to do in NXT, unlike Carmelo, who's clearly, got one foot into the main roster himself. So, of course, kick things off with a great triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship with Roxanne Perez, the champion, defending against Lyra Valkyria versus Tatum Paxley. And your winner by pinfall, like Roxanne Perez, as she defeats Valkyria and Paxley by pinfall to retain the NXT Women's Championship. And so of course, I mean, like I said, it was definitely a great match in itself. And just like how each of them, each of them were so close, but like I said, in the end, Roxanne is the winner. Then we have the family versus no quarter catch crew, and of course the winners of this match by pinfall, the family. Then we have Fallon Henley versus Jada Parker with OTM in the corner. And I would say that, as far as that. So like I said, the winner, like I said, the winner is Fallon Henley, but by pinfall. Actually, even though I did see that at the highlight, I wouldn't say, like I said, even though I did see the highlight, I'm Jada Park and the winner, because I know like I said, I did see that slam. I remember I saw that the highlight of Jada Parker getting that pin, and her weave came out, or rather her extension came out. I was like, man, this is something that just absolutely went viral. And all I gotta say is that the Shawn Michaels definitely, definitely knew he was doing. So you're winning by pinfall, with the running hip attack, Jada Parker. And so the funniest part of that match was that blooper at the end, where like I said, where Jada's like I said, where Jada's weave um, fell out. I was like, man, that's like super duper real. She's becoming more viral, each and every week, and so of course, as far as that, like I said, you winner of the match, winner by pinfall, like I said, Jada Parker, like I said, you please and make sure to watch out for Jada, and then like I said, of course, and then we have have the segment with Natalia and Lola Vice. We get a video package for Lola Vice versus Natalia. As they end up going to break, but as they're standing in the ring, for the contract sign or whatever, all of a sudden, um, Shayna Baszler comes out. So as Natalia is, you know, um, trying to talk some sense in a Lola Vice and telling her, telling her that she was going to tap her out. And all of a sudden, the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, comes out. I was like, man, and like I said, definitely, like I said, it's definitely gonna be something pretty great. And so of course, so Ruka, excuse me, sorry about that. My bad. That was my. Like I said, sorry about that. Like I said, that was my mouse, if you will. Something kind of, my fault. But anyway, like I said, Blair Davenport versus Sol Ruka. It was a beach brawl, and Sol Ruka won by pinfall with the backflip stun, with the backflip stunner. Anyway, of course, we end up having next up we have Baron Corbin versus Lexis King, and winner by pinfall, Lexis King with the coronation. And of course, the main event, last but not least, for the NXT Championship match, title versus career, we have Ilya Dragunov, the Tsar, the champion himself, versus Trick Williams. And the story behind this, what I mean, like the backstory was that Trick was 0-3 against Dragunov for the NXT Championship, and so this was a point where things could change. So this could be the turning point. And there were even people, like I see, pretty much like so I will say this. Anyway, I'm not sure what's coming on tonight, but I guess not. But anyway, like I said, as far as that, everybody was giving their predictions, and most of them said Trick Williams. So you had Jay Cargill chiming in, and her winner was Whoop That Trick. There you go. I mean, and so it's just like with the momentum that that Trick has, and just how this guy has been on a roll, and how he's just been growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, that tells you everything that you need to know. I mean, like this guy, I mean, he didn't come to play. He came to win. I mean, so of course, as you said before, 23 in LA, Tricky McGrady. Never mind who you thought it was. I'm Trick James. I was like, yeah. So like, I mean, even from that point on, I was like, yeah, there's something special about this dude, and how just the crowd just goes crazy and just chants his name. Like it goes along with the song "Whip That Trick." I was like, yeah, like I said, this guy has, he's definitely become 1994 Diesel. It's just, just organic, like sort of like a fan following, if you will. I mean, like there's something special about this dude. And so, so, like I said, the thing about it is like the match in itself was absolutely special. And so, of course, Dragunov with a German suplex in the opening moments of the match. It's a typical Dragunov style match. Like just huge chops, elevated DDT, Constantine special, take Trick off his feet. Only for 2, and then Ilya pressed the attack. Just going to commercial break, and then Dragunov goes coast to coast. Only for a 2 count. Of course, Trick Williams, it's an H bomb of his own, cover for 2. So, it's funny how Trick used Move Thief, if you will. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, it's pretty cool. Like I said, just like 2K. Trick's definitely got to have Move Thief on the game. So of course, fired up in the corner, dragging off, at least with a charge uppercut, another near fall. And so of course, as they're at the floor, Ilya clears it now stable. Of course, Williams with the back body drop. Of course, off the back. Well, Trick Williams goes up to the top, and then hits a bookend through the table. So that was a massive highlight for Trick Williams to hit Dragunov with a bookend, Booker T's move through the table. And like I said, right as Booker T's doing commentary. That's what even more special about it for Trick to do. One of his IO's finishing moves right in front of him, right through the table. And Booker T's definitely the MVP on commentary. Because as soon as Trick comes out and the fans are going to whoop that Trick, his ad libs are the absolute best. I like that. Oh yeah, you know what I mean. I was like, yeah, like I said, Booker T's definitely into it, and like so those ad libs are like even funny. I was like, man, like that he's definitely Trick's hype man, and I know that he sees a lot of himself with Trick anyway. And so anyway, says it up on the apron. Of course, Ilya, blast Trick with a knee, a superplex, rolled through into an H bomb off the second, then hits him with another H bomb. Trick still kicks out. Like I said, another kick out, German suplex. Trick pops right up, and then hits a knee to the back of the head. Dragunov kicks. Like I said, Dragunov kicks out, and then Trick lines up, and Hicks. Like I said, Trick Williams lines up and hits him with a trick shot for the 1, 2, 3, and your winner by pinfall, and your new NXT champion, saving his career, Trick Willie himself, the trick shot, the trickster himself, Trick Williams, Mr. Whoop That Trick. Trick Williams is your new NXT champion, and I am excited. Congratulations to him. You know what I mean? Like I said, he absolutely earned it. And like I said, I've been a huge Trick Williams fan for a while. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, myself, as well as the honorary wrestling girl, aka Catsuit herself, Siendal, who celebrated her birthday yesterday. So on behalf of the Victorious Ones podcast, happy birthday. The front of the program, former guest herself, Siendal. She's super supportive. She's got a great sense of humor. She's definitely someone who is a light everywhere she goes. She is someone, that like I said, one of those people that you think about it and it just kind of like puts a smile on your face. Kind of like makes you laugh when you think about her and like Public Enemies, just to name a few. You know what I mean? And so like I said, like Stephanie Hardy as well. Like I said, happy birthday to Catsuit Siendal, who does a show on Tuesdays called Watch What Happens to NXT. Which comes on right before NXT starts. Which comes on the hour before NXT. But anyway, like I said, other than that, like I said, Trick Williams is your new NXT champion. And I would say that was definitely should be, I would say, a palate cleanser, even though it took place within the same time frame of Tre D's passing, unfortunately. But even with that, at least it's good to have something to celebrate, even while mourning. So I think Trick's win was a huge palate cleanser, even in the face of having to mourn. And even in the, like I said, it was also palate cleanser after the whirlwind and chaos that ensued. After, like I said, after the whirlwind and chaos that ensued, when a certain, black wrestler who doesn't like to drive straight, just call it what it is, Swerve. After Swerve became the first black AEW champion, and I'm not here to pit, black wrestler against black wrestler. I'm not here to do that. But I'm just saying, I felt as though, like I said, with knowing what we know about, let's just say, Swerve's history. Um, I think that, like I said, Trick's win as well as Willow Nightingale, those are palate cleansers. Um, following, like I said, just the Pandora's box that opened as soon as Swerve became the champion. So, like I said, like I said, it was a great palate cleanser. Congratulations to Trick Williams for becoming the new NXT champion. And you know, like I said, as far as that, and the thing is, side note, I think a big reason why people were feeling the way they felt about Swerve's win, very divided, is because, like I said, of the way they moved. Um, with a certain, let's celebrate Black wrestling, but that's another story. But yeah, like I said, it's just certain things that just kind of like made it very divisive. But like I said, Trick was, like I said, once again, a great breath of fresh air. And I look forward to seeing what else Trick does. With the NXT title, he's more than earned it. And my favorite part about it was that Carmelo did not interfere. Instead, he congratulated him on Twitter. So it's good to see that type of solidarity, that type of unity, and great to not see one of us take somebody else's shine. So for Carmelo to break out of character, break out of kayfabe, and congratulate Trick for that win, that's growth. You know what I mean? Um, as a matter of fact, to stand deliver, I even had a Black Wrestling shirt for the, like I said, Black Wrestling shirt, for Trick and Mello, like for Trick versus Mello. And I know Ciandol had that shirt. I want to say Stephanie Hardy had that shirt as well for that same day. So, great minds think alike, right? You know what I mean? So it's definitely, like I said, very special. Like I said, like I said, it was awesome to see. And, I say that, the sky's the limit. Um, I almost want to leave this as a word of wisdom. Shoot for the moon. Shoot for the star. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'd be among the stars. I want to say that's the right quote. Donnie Simpson quote. You know what I mean? So, as far as that, like I said, always shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'd be among the stars. And so, what I mean? Trick is definitely a star of stars. And congratulations, man. Trick shot, baby. Like I said, of course, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for listening. And may you have a great, great night.